Hey everyone, thanks again for joining me on another episode of Sealed for Good. Today we are talking about waterproofing before cabinets, but before I do that, I hope you've subscribed if you haven't. Remember to get on board. So waterproofing underneath cabinets. How many of you waterproofed wet areas and found that the cabinets or vanities are already in prior to you commencing? That is a weak point, particularly on suspended floors, upper floor wet areas, because if the vanities are already in, then the waterproofing can't really terminate as it should as per AS 3740. Now this is a situation where we talk about coordinating between the builder and other trades. The supervisor, the building supervisor, should not have those vanities in if the waterproofing hasn't been completed, particularly upstairs, upper floor. On a ground floor area, you could debate it. I prefer to have all waterproofing tanked underneath anything in a bathroom. Any water that goes through those tiles, even outside the shower area, if you can't terminate that membrane, it will travel underneath the tile with capillary action going underneath that vanity, and there's an entrance point into another room. And we've also seen this a lot in laundry areas. But bathroom wet areas, you're not going to have the kicker board with the waterproofing up the face of it unless you're going to tile it, and that's a very rare design. So ensure that you coordinate with your builder and the building supervisor and the guys that are putting those cabinets in, that they should wait until the waterproofing has been completed and dried, and more importantly, ensure that the wet area is protected. Your waterproof job is protected after you've waterproofed it, so those guys that are bringing those cabinets and carpentry in are not damaging the waterproof membrane. How often have I seen those sorts of things get dragged across bathroom floors, tearing a membrane, screeds go down, and no one says anything until there's a leak and we find out there's been damage to the membrane. This is all part of coordinating the trades and working together, as we've mentioned that.
Are you ready to find your point of difference? Are you ready to position your workers and business as cutting-edge waterproofers? GAPP qualifies you to practice the waterproofing trade with a high level of skill and expertise, backed by the manufacturer. So what are you waiting for? Be part of the change and find your point of difference among the rest. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of this week's episode of Sealed for Good.
Now, even underneath baths, this is the same thing. You should treat under a vanity the same way as under a bath. It should all be tanked and waterproofed prior to that happening, and that way you've got complete tanking to that wet area. If the bath area is going to have the waterproofing come up the face of it, that's a different situation, but in the old school days we used to see bricked up baths, and in those situations you should be tanking underneath it. No different than you would with a preformed shower tray that's getting fixed on a mortar bed. The waterproof membrane would be underneath that. So treat cabinets and vanities in the same way. Ensure your builder understands that. If they're not doing it, you're not compliant to AS 3740 on an upper floor bathroom. And on ground floor, encourage it regardless, because it's always good practice to waterproof on the whole bathroom floor. If you'd like to know more details on this one, you've got our tech line, 1-800-650-435, or speak to any of our guys out there, or get hold of a GAPP reseller and they'll give you the advice. Until next time, I'll see you on Sealed for Good.